Hello friends, welcome back. Thank you so much for joining me today. We are going to create our 4-sheet challenge project for September. If you don't know what that is, I have been using the gorgeous Authentique calendar collection every month, taking the 4 sheets that coordinate with that season and creating a project with just those 4 sheets. So for today, I do have those calendar pages along with 1 sheet of 12 by 12 white cardstock and 1 sheet of green thumb spectrum cardstock that is also from Authentique Paper. So of course September is going to be themed as back to school, and I know that it does look very different this year for everyone, and it's very important to make sure we document all of these pictures so we can look back on it and laugh and say, wasn't that a crazy year? And so actually right now my youngest son, who is a senior at university, is taking classes upstairs. He is having college in his room, and so I am not able to speak as loudly as I would like to, but hopefully this will work out. For today, I am making a flip book, and it has a beautiful vintagey back to school theme. Lots of pages here, lots of places to add pictures and journaling, and then these are all interactive pages on the inside, so they all tip up. You've got a lot of real estate here, so if you want to include additional flat mementos and keepsakes, you're going to be able to find space in this mini album. This is a great gift for grandparents, or a brag book if you like to share pictures of your children. So stick with me and we will make this together. For the base of the book, I'm going to be using this white cardstock, and I have 2 pieces. The first one is cut at 5 by 8 3/4 inches. I'm going to come in with my score tool. I'm going to score it at 4 inches and then also at 4 3/4. This is going to be the left hand side of my book, and this will be the deepest spine because I need to accommodate all the layers inside. The second piece of cardstock I have cut at 12 inches by 5 inches, and I'm just going to lay that here on my score tool and put my first line in at 4 inches, and that will be the width of the book. My second score is at 4 3/8, and I'll just scoot that down to make the measurement easier. So now I put that last score line on 4. I'm going to add 4 again so that I will have the same size pages, and then for this one I'm just going to add a 1/2 inch. So we've got a 3/8 of an inch spine here and a 1/2 inch on this side. I'm going to come in with this shorter end and add my double-sided adhesive tape here. This is going to attach this right hand page to the left hand side, so I'll just remove that tape. I'm going to fold it right here at the last score line so that I get it nice and even, and I'm going to attach it to the left hand page by just lining that up, and this will create one long continuous piece with our score lines in so that we can fold this up into itself. So we're going to have the 4 by 5 inch book, and then the first flip, the second flip, and then the third flip. So this will all be one long piece, and we can begin to add the collection papers now. So for my inside pages, I do want to include some of the journal cards as tip-ins, and because I really love these stamps, they love all the smaller vintage images, I left this as a whole block, and I'm just going to incorporate that as a tip-in. It's covered on the back with some of the B-side of that journal cut-apart page. So what I want to do is include an additional layer of the pattern paper. So this apple and the plaid are the same piece, just different sides. And I'm gonna go ahead and use my green cardstock. So this is the green thumb spectrum cardstock that is also from Authentique Paper. I'm using that to act as a border between all of these busy patterns, including between these two where they fall on the page. And so now what I want to do is include my tip-in on the side. So I'm using that green thumb cardstock again for the mechanism to hold my journal card onto the side of the page, and I'll just adhere that. I'm using double-sided adhesive tape throughout. So I've got my tip-in attached now, and I can add it to the book. So this is going to be the first inside page, and I think it's easier to add these pages with the longest side that you have to work with facing you. That way you can get it lined up much easier. And so I'm just going to add this here, and this will be the first inside page. So this will open to this page as well. And I'm gonna go ahead and add a section for a photo mat, which is this page right here. And what I want to do is continue that plaid and the green throughout. It gives it a nice consistent look. But now I'm going to layer on scallop edge die cut rectangle. That's just going to be a nice crisp white cardstock so that it helps to break up those busy paper patterns. Here is a tag from that cut apart sheet, and I just want to include this between the layers and then top it with my alternate pattern. I'm using that same green cardstock again as a border, and this will be a great place to include their first day back to school picture. So I have that planned for this page right here. So my first two pages that are seen are done. I went ahead and created a second tip-in page with another one of the journal cards. So there is a lot of real estate in this book to cover. I had to really very carefully decide which of the vintage images I wanted to include so that I could work around them and save as much of the pattern paper whole as I could so that I would have enough to cover all of these pages. So I'm just going to add this to this page. And now we've got our first two flips done and also our first two tip-ins. So for the inside, I wanted to have interactive pages, and I'm going to use this solid piece from the 4 sheets of the calendar collection, and I've cut that just to look a lot like a top folding card, and this is measured to fit inside the book there, and I want to finish it on the inside as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and incorporate the B side of those vintage images. There's so many nice coordinating patterns on the back, so it will be easy to get these filled in because you already know everything matches and coordinates. This will finish the inside. This is a great place to add larger pictures or other mementos that you want to save. For the front, I'm going to use the back side of that plaid, and I'm just using these apples for the all over pattern, and then I'm going to top it with a piece of this beautiful geometric pattern, and it's just going right at the top. I'm still using that green cardstock to separate those busy patterns. And for this insert, I want to include another area where a photo can be added. So this is just a pretty white die cut doily. Now this can be added to my book, and I have this one planned to go right in the center, and that will open that way. I have prepared already my additional pages that are just the same, and this is going to hide that shorter edge of the paper where we join them together. So here is another top folding interactive page. For this one, I've included one of the cut apart images, and this is acting as a tuck spot, so I can just go ahead and tuck something in there and it will hold it securely, and that way you don't have to glue every single thing down if there's something written on the back. Here is my other top folding page. I'll just go ahead and add that now. So I'm just adding a very small amount of that. It will adhere it well and be nice and secure. So here is the right hand page with the tuck spot. Just give that some pressure while that glue sets up. Before I go on to the front, I do want to finish the back of the book. So that will be this page. And I've just got the last little bit of pattern paper I could salvage to get this. As you can imagine, adding all of these paper layers is making this book very sturdy. and very chunky. So we can work on the front cover now. So I've got that gorgeous plaid already matted, and I'm just going to layer on one additional smaller pattern. This was once again from the offcuts, and that just looks very nice finishing detail on the bottom there. So I've got a tag here, one of the cut aparts. I've put in an eyelet and a little bit of twine here for the top. This is a smaller book, and because I chose a little bit larger of a vintage image, I'm not going to be able to incorporate a doily, but I think that I've got plenty of this covered and it looks very nice. So I cut out my image, and now I've got foam spacer on the back, so that way I can build a little dimension for the cover, and that's just going to go right here. I think those vintage school children are very charming. I'm just trying to get that on straight. I had that on with my double-sided adhesive tape and then a layer of that Tombow just to make sure it would be nice and secure. I'm going to add this to the book cover now before I add my bulkier embellishments, because it's just a little bit easier to get that lined up and get this added to the cover. You can see how adding all of those layers really filled in the bulk of that space. So what I've done is taken the last little bits of scrap from the pattern paper and created some very perfectly coordinating flowers with that. I put this geometric plaid on the larger flower and finished it with two of the smaller, more burgundy flowers. I've got a little loopy twine bow here, a little gold foliage, and green leaves that were die cut. That's just going to go right here at the bottom, and I'll add that with hot glue. I've got a small clock charm I'm going to add to this corner, and then I'll disguise those cut edges with my bow. This is a beautiful wrinkle ribbon from Really Reasonable Ribbon, topped with an additional twine bow and a vintage button. I'm just adding that at an angle so that I don't cover up that young man's hairdo there. So that is all for my album today. This is my 4-sheet challenge for September. If you're interested in checking out this collection, make sure you click on the link in the description. It will take you there so you can check out this beautiful calendar collection from Authentique Paper. I will also leave a link for Really Reasonable Ribbon for the trims, and of course for all our social media handles as well. If you enjoyed this project, make sure you give me a thumbs up and leave me a comment. If you're not already, I would love for you to subscribe. And as always, I'm wishing you a happy and productive day, and I thank you so much for watching. Bye.